Hey, Prince. We had to come to YouTube because they don't let us live here. But I think on YouTube you can smoke. And this is not for kids. This is not for kids. All right, so I wanted to talk to y'all. And yes, my table does have a little. We go talk about that. So anyway, I wanted to talk to y'all about whatever. Hey, they kicked us off of TikTok for I guess I don't know. So whenever I'm off of TikTok, I kind of come over here. I think I should start focusing on this just a little bit more, but I really don't. Hey y'all. So I guess we could come over to YouTube. If y'all want to ask some questions, y'all can ask questions. That'd be cool because I really don't ever come over to YouTube and answer questions. And a lot of times when I come over here, I be so mad that YouTube end up blocking the video anyway. So I would love to answer some questions on YouTube, basically about anything y'all want to answer. It's a little different over here, so I don't think I could put up like backgrounds and stuff like that. But if y'all got questions, my friends, I'm here to answer. None? Okay. I think that I don't want to talk about no politics because politics usually gets me in trouble. But I had this dream. I'm gonna tell y'all that. You did? How is everything going after that? How's my day going? My day is going pretty good. I had to bury my printer because we had so many orders go through that printer. It just gave up. Like the ink was just spilling out. It's giving me problems. So, do you think that you have developed like arthritis or something? So you might have developed like because most people having like pericarditis, and it could be like an inflammation in your um situation. And I'm only 46, and that is young. But you want to try like a lymphatic flush. So what I suggest to you is like a red clover tea, and red clover goes. I mean, it's just best for your lymph nodes. We do make one on our website. It's a lymphatic flush tea, and it has like dandelion, and it has red clover, and it got like spearmint. So that like, cause spearmint is good for fungus. People don't understand that, but it has those three things, and then it has black seed, and all three of them together, they have certain jobs. So the dandelion is like heart medicine. The red clover is for your lymphatic system. The spearmint is for any fungus or bacteria that will be in your lungs or in your body, in your immune system. And then the black seed, it restores your red blood cells. So a lot of people, they usually do black seed in the form of oil, which sometimes people say that can mess with your liver because you talking about absorbing and getting something through your liver. But when you use something in the form of a decoction, this means that the hot water releases the nutrients from the plants. So when you put this in a tea bag, and it's 1 teaspoon per tea bag, and that's what makes it a teaspoon. So once you put this inside the tea bag, and you put the hot water on it, you let it sit for 5, 8 minutes. This is why people say, I'm having digestion issues. You're not having digestion issues. It's the things that you're eating are not small enough for your blood to digest. I hope that makes some sense because right now I'm kind of new to YouTube. So usually when I'm on TikTok, I'd be like, put a blah, blah, blah in the chat if that makes sense. But I don't know who's here from TikTok and I don't know who's here from that. So I'm just going to say it like that. So when you drink tea, Tea is blood food. How Dr. Sabi's been saying, sell food this and sell food that. Sell food is literally you feeding your blood. The cells Dr. Sabi was talking about was the blood cells. The blood cells go through your lymphatic system, which is these little knobs that make, if you have a sickness or something, hey, the knobs that are under here, they'll be under your underarms. Sometimes they're everywhere inside your groin area. If you notice them swollen, you can literally go online, type in where the lymph node is swollen, and it'll tell you where the infection is. But we don't look at certain things like they clean infections. Lemons clean infections. So the same way I'm telling you that this tea, right, will get into your bloodstream if you boil lemons. Just the same way when you smell, if you smell a bleach product, the bleach product is gonna say lemon scented. This is a trick. This right here, this is a trick. So when you say lemon scented, you automatically think clean. You bypass all of the dang on ingredients that are harmful, chemical, whatever, whatever. Because once you smell them lemons, it automatically is a trigger in your mind that God put in there clean. That's why they have products like this and they say lemon scented because they know that they're chemicals, direct chemicals. But the lemon scent automatically makes you think clean. So when you have a sickness, how do you get rid of the sickness? You can always boil a lemon. When your child is sick, these babies, they got leukemia. These babies are coming out with sickle cell. The babies are having sickle cell because the parents don't realize anything about tea. Your mom, this little generation right here, I would say the people who have been having babies from 1995, 6 to 2018, let's say that group of kids, there are more little kids with leukemia. There are more little kids who have diabetes. I've been bumping into kids like literally with kidney failure because parents do not know. You ain't supposed to give your kid no damn Capri Sun and not tea. If you want to get your kid to sleep, you can use chamomile tea. Chamomile tea, put the baby right out. It's no reason to give the baby melatonin. I'm telling you right now, when your baby start having seizures because you giving the baby melatonin, remember that I told you. Remember that I told you. Because it will happen. It throws the baby off and makes them have a chemical imbalance. All because you're trying to get out. When you can literally make that baby some chamomile tea and it'll put the baby right down. There are kids who the parent is like, my baby won't be calm while they're in school. Probably because you won't give the baby some nutmeg. Nutmegs. When you have breakfast cereal in the morning, breakfast cereal should have oatmeal, cream of wheat, something like that that's warm on their tummy. Mom's is moving too fast. Even if you're not going to do that, you can sprinkle some nutmeg and some cinnamon on top of the pancakes. If you think like that, you will have a calm child. I'm trying to tell you. But if you give your kid Fruity Pebbles, marshmallow this, marshmallow, there's zero nutritional value. There is zero triggers for the brain. This is why all these babies is out here developmentally delayed. And I know you're like, well, who is she? And how does she know? And who is she? I mean, if you look, you'll see. If you look hard enough and you paying enough attention, you will clearly see all of these babies out here have been raised on Capri Suns, Hawaiian Punch. That stuff has zero nutritional value. If you do give your kids some lemonade, it's in the form of, what is that, country time? That is sugar and lemon flavor. That is not lemonade. When it takes 2 seconds to squeeze a lemon inside some warm water and then put some honey in it for them babies. Chicken nuggets, even if you feeding the baby chicken nuggets, the meat only fills up the belly. It's the fact that these moms do not realize that they supposed to put herbs on a chicken. So the chicken not even clean if they was to make it themselves anyway. because Orange Crush soda, listen, if you don't use certain things to clean your meat, you a shoe in for the baby to have salmonella. And I know about salmonella because one thing you'll do is, oh, I'm making a cake with the baby, and you let the baby lick the spoon after you done put the raw eggs in there. I know for a fact that that will give you these shits. But people don't understand this no more. They don't know microscopic. Microscopically is what we talking about. The chicken nuggets, I don't care about chicken nuggets. I don't care about french fries. I care about what the baby's drinking because diabetes comes from drinking soda, drinking straight sugar. The sugar is sitting directly on your bloodstream. What you drink goes directly to your small intestines. This is the digestion area. This is the digestion area. This is where your body digests everything. So you think digestion, you eat something that goes into your mouth. What goes into your mouth has to be broken down, right? And then go into your small intestines to give you nutrients. So most people are not even picking up nutrients at all because you thinking you getting it from what you're eating and you're not. You're getting it from what you're drinking. So if you drink Capri Sun, there's nothing in that. There's nothing in there's nothing in Gatorade. There's nothing in. There might be something in coffee, but it's sugar and creamer in there. You see what I'm saying? A lot of different teas have benefits, but it's all the sugar that we put inside of it. Then people using agave. Agave is the same thing that tequila is made out of. Say less. I mean, all I'm saying is a lot of the stuff that people are like the whole alkaline. If you look up alkaline, that's the base for opiates. And that's the reason why people are failing drug tests. People literally be writing me like, well, the stuff that you recommend make me fail a drug test. The reason why is because the whole alkaline diet has people hooked on opiates. Yes, you will find out a whole lot of stuff about pyramids. I do. I just was researching, right? And I found it out in this book. Let me show you because so this is the National Geographic's the reference desk of nature's medicine, right? And when I was looking up alkaloids, that is what the book said. It is written. See, a lot of times when you meet herbalists, the herbalists are going to tell you what Dr. Sabi said. Dr. Sabi said this, Dr. Sabi said that, such and such said this, such and such says that. But very seldomly do they refer to a book. I would like to introduce you to myself. My name is Naira, and I like books because books have the facts. I don't want to keep on telling people stuff that I heard down the lane. You know, if I read it though and I come across it, I know that people who write books are scared to be sued, so they won't write anything in the book. So here is where it talks about the alkaloids, right? And then it said they was bitter organics, and then it said an alkaloid is a organic based compound with alkaline properties and generally marked by physiological effects on the nervous and circulatory system. So this has physiological effects, not just you know the regular physical effects, but mental effects. It's like it's like an anesthetic, a tranquilizer, a hallucinogen. That's what it said. It said hallucinogen. It said it's a hallucinatory agent. That's why all these people is probably worshiping Dr. Sabi. Mental. Yep. Hold on, I gotta listen to my son because he in there playing with another child. But did that say, it say it? So that's probably why they be going so hard over that whole Dr. Sabi thing. That's probably why they go so hard. What would you suggest for arterial, arterial fibrillation? So this is the heart, right? So if you go to my website, there's in the blog section, it tells you it tells you the top Googled um, things that people, the top Googled. I'm sorry, because as soon as I opened it up and all the little light, I stopped thinking. But it's like basically the top Google medical conditions for people, right? And a lot of times, everything is a blood issue. So if you are having issues with the pounding of your heart, I had the nerve to download Dr. Sebi food to eat. Everybody did at one time. The reason why I don't Dr. Sebi is because when I went to his website, and this was in 2016, when I went to his website, I cried because I couldn't afford to do any of the things on his list. I mean, I could afford to starve myself, but I couldn't afford to buy his cell food for $799. Like $799? That is too much dang on money. $799. You out here charging $799 for some goddamn plants. Really, I've been peeping this too. Everybody is on dandelion root. Now, dandelion leaves is what we put. I told my daughter to take an edible for her heartbeat being so fast. Um, well, I'm sure that would slow the situation down, but maybe she should try something like a chamomile because it will break down, it will get into the bloodstream, and it will slow her down and it will calm her. So maybe she should try like a chamomile tea and keep me posted on that because that will be something that will get into the bloodstream, give the blood food, but at the same time, it calms you down. So try that. I will try that. There's a lot of people moving in the hallway right now. But I feel as though it's a lot of scammers out there. I hope that TikTok, this ain't like TikTok, and I can actually smoke here because I'm about to light it up. But there are a lot, every disease is a disease of the blood. Every single disease. Every single disease is a disease of the blood. They keep talking this gut shit. I wouldn't even listen to nobody talking about gut when there's a stomach. Clearly, it's called a stomach. I don't even want to hear nobody telling me how to survive talking about gut. I don't want to put my life in your hands because you're not using over 3-letter words. That might seem, but gut, no, we're not doing that. You see how many people just left? Bye. Because that's a 3-letter word. And literally, it's the stomach. Intestines. It's more than one part to the stomach. It's the part where the acid goes and digests food. There's the small intestines. There's the large intestines. So I just don't want to hear gut. I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry. I don't trust you with my life talking that gut shit. I'm sorry. And everybody, if you notice, they don't know what herbs to put in there. They put in all types of herbs. So let's say I'm a herbalist and I tell you, hey, I got all these teas and I know about all these teas and I put every single tea. Hey, every single tea that I know, I put it in the same thing. Do you know that green tea is for energy? Green tea will make you go fast. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And chamomile is to slow you down. It is to relax you. It'll make you go to sleep. Imagine if I gave you both of those teas mixed together. Imagine how that would make you feel. You would be all over the fucking place. Or you would get depressed. Remember, the alkaline shit can be a hallucinogen. What's that? Straight balling? Straight 8 balling? Right? I don't want you to do that. I remember one time I had went to the hospital when I was sick and they gave me something that I had an interaction with and I got up and I was jittery. It was horrible. So just imagine all these herbalists. Do you know that medicines are made with plants? So literally we're alchemists. We ain't got time. I don't listen. I'm not going to give nobody no blends of teas that I haven't tried myself. None. Zero. You out here giving people shit that you haven't even tried. I don't like that idea. So that's why when it comes to like certain things, we always try them. There are a lot of scammer people charging $100 for 10 minutes and don't actually talk about how the herbs work. But you lay it all out, and I like it. Thank you. I appreciate that because I like these. Like, if you see, this is my little kitchen slash office, but on this side of the room, as you can see, this is where I have the little books and stuff. Like, this was the first one. This was the first book. Sorry, work area. This was the first book that I got my hands on, right? So, God was training me, right? And he let me meet this guy named Irvin. And I do thank God for Irvin, okay? Because Irvin, and he was one of them like metaphysical type people. Like, he is in Philadelphia too. He calls himself the medicine man, right? Now, Irvin, he had this book and he lent it to me. That's what let me know the book was important. Because you know when somebody has something and they find it of value, they'll come back for that. When I say he's given me so many books, but this one he came back for. So when he said, I want my book back, I knew it was valuable, right? So when I first opened it up, it was talking about different flavonoids. Like I started reading the beginning, and it was talking about the first part of it. It talks about these lemons. So it was just basically saying the different colors of the plants matter. The different types of plants had different, in the different parts of the plants had different purposes. So this was what led me to start really searching. So then my aunt, she bought me like one of them little $5 classes, and I read it and I was like, this is more for somebody who wants to garden. I want to know how the plants work. So then I had to go back to this book, and then I think I just went to the store and I repurchased the book. But my aunt, the same one who bought me the class, she actually had this book in her house, and I had read it one more time, and I was like, you know what, this book is worth investing in. So this is a book that I came across. I came across an older book about B17 and the men who were treating people with apricot seeds. So, apricot is a form of cyanide, but it's a natural occurring cyanide. And this is why it works on people. And they were talking about this, but if somebody kills you with cyanide, it will be like the chemical version of cyanide. It's not the same. So that's why they outlawed that. But I'm sure a lot less people had cancer when people ate apricots. Because apricots used to be on the market, and I remember that. But they said that some kid choked on the seed and it was over for apricots. So they have been literally working against us. If you notice the certain things that you see in a supermarket, you won't see it in a regular supermarket, but you'll see it in an international supermarket. You'll see apricots in the international market, the Asian market, but you won't see the motherfuckers in ShopRite, Super Fresh, stuff like that. You barely could find some good honey. But if you go to the international market, to the people who we think is poor and we're taught to think they're poor, they don't have anything, they don't know anything. We're taught to think that. Them people are rich. They're rich because they know how to live off the land. We've been tricked. We have been tricked. I saw this one show, and it was like the way that they keep American slaves is by keeping them in brands. We sell our time for food when we can literally grow our own food, but we choose to sell our time because we feel like we have been sold the American dream, which is getting off the farm to the big city. And you think you leaving the farm because you a slave at the farm, but there was freedom at the farm because you weren't a slave to your job. I hope that makes sense. When you have some type of connection to the land, then nobody can ever starve you because you know there's something growing in your garden. That's why there was seed time and harvest time. That's why I will see time and harvest time. It's ladies that go outside, they will ever be able to bake cakes because they got chickens in the coop. And all they did was make room for a chicken to live, and they made sure they always had some food. That might be, strange to somebody, but they not going to starve. They not worried about a famine. People who have and use their land, they're not worried about a famine. Oprah, as much shit as she talk about being rich, how is Oprah rich? Because she got a big ass garden in front of her house. She got big ass cabbages growing, big ass collard greens, big ass shit. That's why Oprah rich. Because she got people to till her grass. She always show it. The little girl outside, she like, Miss Naira. She tell people she gardens too. Yeah, she does. If you know people that has chickens, they always have eggs to give away and sell. And that's how it was intended. We were supposed to trade. Back in the day, the Walmarts of the world were people, traveling salespeople, and they would come to your house. They would sell you, do you need pens? You need such and such? They'd take a list. They'd go out, get the stuff, bring it back to you, stuff like that. But now, we aren't salespeople like we used to be. We get everything from the Walmart. Walmart is the one-stop shop, and we don't even look at our neighbor like they sell stuff. We don't even look at our neighbor for that type of stuff. I'm trying to own land one day. Listen, I talked to one lady who followed me on TikTok. Do you know the lady had 200 and something acres? 200 and something acres of land. I was like, God is with you. What are you doing with it? She was like, I don't know. I said, you better start farming. 200 acres. Yes. People started selling their time. We started refinancing grandma's house. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to get out of the house, get out of our family house, sell it, sell the house, and then go rent. And then, soon as you don't have a paycheck, now you gotta move. We set ourselves up. We set ourselves up. And we trust the doctors. We don't trust God. Back in the day, my grandma told me, listen, I had my daughter. My daughter is 11. She's gonna be 11 next month. And my grandma, before she went to a nursing home, my grandma stayed in a nursing home until last year, a month after her birthday. Literally, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, my grandma passed. Well, we had her funeral. She passed like a week or so before, right? And I thought that was my grandma's way of getting her people together for like one last Thanksgiving. I thought that was so cute, right? But my grandma, she had told me one day, she was like, in her 80s at that point, like, because she was like 98 when she died. So she was probably like 88. And she was like, baby, she was like, if that baby ever start crying and she gets colic, give her some tea. Now, my first instinct, my dookie head brain, it was like, I was like, Grandma, my baby not sick. She was like, she's not sick now, but that don't mean she might not get sick. And I'm telling you, if she ever get colic, give the baby some tea. I said, give the baby some tea. So now, all these studying, it makes sense to me now. My grandma was saying, a baby, you can't give a baby water. And if the milk is not providing the nutrients that the baby needs, because you don't have the nutrients in your breast milk, you can boil the plants. And the plants will give the baby the vitamins that they're crying out for with the colic. Oh my God. My grandma was a genius with no college degree. This is basic knowledge that women have. My family is trying to get my grandma to sell her house. She lives on an acre. She saying she wants to, saying she wants it, and I'm trying to get it so I can grow on it. The wisdom, right? Don't sell your grandma house. My grandma got 7 kids, and my one aunt stole the house from up under it. Now let me tell you how thorough my grandpa was. Okay, my grandpa, his family, they're called the Gravleys. In Greensboro, if you look Greensboro up, my cousins, all of them, bomb women, basically run the city. Deans of the deans of everything. These people is bomb on my grandpa's side, right? But my grandmom, she was a loner. Her mom died when she was young, so she didn't really have that family instinct type of thing that my grandpa had. But my grandpa, he was so forward thinking. This is what he did for his wife. My grandma, and she was born in 1923, so they bought their house in 1957. When he passed in 1987, he had already sectioned my grandma's house off so that her kids and her could have a 3 bedroom house, kitchen, upstairs, downstairs, and a basement. Then he sectioned it off so it was a 1 bedroom apartment on the bottom floor, and it was a 2 bedroom apartment on the top floor of the 3-story house, so that my grandma wouldn't have to have a insurance policy on him, which she did have, but an insurance policy would have ran out. But he knew that she didn't have to work, so he made it so she could always have a tenant. Say God, I'm talking about they talking about black men ain't good men. What? Child, please. That's forward thinking. That's a husband. When I say, I don't know if y'all follow me on TikTok, but my husband, I just got married like a month ago, last month on the 10th, right? And my husband, before we we was both working jobs. I was a home health aide, right? Thank you. And my husband, he pours every honey. Like if I showed you across the room, every honey my husband pours. I just do shipping. All I do is shipping. He does all the hard work. Thank you. All the hard work. When there's no teas, he press every tea. He do all the hard work. And it's like, I might be the brains. I might have thought up the operation, but if he didn't move a muscle, we wouldn't have it. So at that way, he is a provider. But if you don't, I think about it like, dang, we a team. But literally, he does all the muscle. When I'm like, babe, we don't have a such and such and such, he run out and go get it, and then he come back, and then he's more paperwork smart than me. It'd be crazy. But just the fact that if we see each other as like a team, like if we, I always tell people, you know what you can have, what you can think for. If you can think for 10 people, you'll have 10 people worth of money. Do you ever notice people with big families never be are broke? Never are broke. I always see that. Like a woman with a bunch of kids, she always got the money to take all them kids out. I always see that. I never see like I don't know who you know, but I know I've always see people with big families. They always think forward, and my grandpa thought forward. And I just wish that maybe like his first set of kids, you can and then this is how you can tell. So I got my aunts, right? So up until he passed in 87, his kids from the younger generation, right, his kids from the younger generation, they don't think like that. His older kids, they all had properties, they all had more than one business, all that stuff. But then my mom and them, who was like raised afterwards, they was just worker bees. They just got jobs, stuff like that. Like my mom, when her dad was alive, she had a property. But he didn't have enough time to get in her ear as an adult to put her on the game that he needed her to have. So then when he left, she was like a spoiled kid. She ain't really know how to teach me that legacy type thinking. You see what I'm saying? It's like I feel like a lot of people feel like we are messed up, But it's because we don't listen to the elders, or we don't listen. We worshiping the elders. My ancestor told me this, but we not really listening to the ones that's here that can really show you and put you on game. Like, if I hadn't listened to my grandma, if I had just been like, she don't know what she talking about, she just old, I couldn't sit here today and teach that shit. I like literally what she said made so much sense. It's amazing. To me, I see the bright side of everything. We all got to start seeing that. Like, we all have to start seeing, even if it's a bad situation, like, even if your car tire blowout or something, did you look at the situation like maybe you late for something else? Maybe you're avoiding something. I always look at stuff like that. Like, maybe it's somebody I need to meet out here, or maybe it's something that, something God trying to get to me, or he want me to avoid something. But I never look at it like everything is bad. Some stuff is good. hmm And you can learn from just about anybody or anything. I remember one time somebody said, do you know what good fruit is? Good fruit is willing to stay on the branches of the tree to keep being nourished, to keep growing. Because as soon as you want to fall off, that's when you rot or you're eating. But as long as you stay on the branch, which is attached to the tree, which is attached to the root, which can get water and get nutrients, as long as you stay attached to the Father, you will always keep growing. But as soon as you detach from the Father, you forget all his ways, then you end up in trouble. And that's clearly what's going on with us. We don't realize the benefits of freaking nutmeg no more. We believe nutmeg starts with McCormick. We believe that. That might sound. Hey, pretty. Hey. I was on YouTube live.
Oh, they let it go?
It's on YouTube. We're working.
Oh, green screen. Let's go.
Y'all hear it? I told y'all. I heard y'all. I told y'all the husband. As soon as I say such and such and such, she be like, he wouldn't do anything. Husbands are great. I just wanted to say that. Just cook some dinner and use your herbs cooking the food. You ain't gotta use your herbs and burn no candles on him. Use the herbs on the food, make it taste good, and he marry you. Bet you they won't share that. I hope somebody got that. Use the herbs on the goddamn chicken. Stop trying to fucking voodoo the nigga. Okay? Use that sage on the ground beef and make that man some sausage in that spaghetti. I can hear the organ. I know y'all can hear the organ. It ain't hard. I think that's what I'm saying. This is how stuff get lost in translation. Grandma was like, you need that sage to keep you a man. She meant inside your food. What happened, big?
Flaxseed.
Oh, okay. I didn't even, you didn't, I ain't even, it's fine.
That
You
shit
gonna take
stuck
her
like
back
a
on
hammer.
Sunday, so it's fine.
Yeah,
You're
that
not
shit
gonna
totally
die.
stuck like
You can grab it on Sunday.
what we got going on here?
We was just talking. That's it.
We got everything started up. We about to start over.
Somebody said, I'm done. No, it's the truth. It's the truth. I feel like that's the issue with people. I ain't did nothing there since you came home. Since you left, babe.
I'm here now. It's okay. Let me get some. I've been snacking. I guess that's the Lord getting me ready for the famine. I just been eating all day. What's up, Bum? What's up, Kiki?
Well, y'all, let me let me work on my little schmoopies and work on some dinner for everybody, and then we'll come back together. The Schmoopy and Schmoopy show, I guess. So we'll be back. Makes sense now when they say it's the cooking. Listen. I'm trying to tell you, and I say this all the time. People be misinterpreting what's. You know when I learned it right on here or TikTok. You know TikTok got me. My TikTok for Pirate Meds is banned right now, so I'm gonna be. We'll come back on here. Probably like set up one of the computers or whatever, but my TikTok is it's on hold. But I'm on TikTok. It's just T for a reason. And I'm on Instagram at T for a reason. Somebody said we'll be waiting. I really appreciate the support that y'all do give me, cause I'll be like discouraged. Sometimes I get discouraged. I'm so tired of them. Good, TikTok is tripping. Listen, who knows why God does certain things? Because maybe He want me to come over here so that it could be a different audience. I put out a lot of videos on TikTok and I leave YouTube alone. But I'm learning how to guard my lips and not say too much about politics because apparently it ain't a black woman place. I just received my teas today too. Yay! Add lemon. Lemon always makes it better. Lemon always makes it better. We got to do some order stuff. And I got to make sure everybody gets something to eat. But we going to come back because you could be on YouTube all night. I done seen people get busy with YouTube. So we're going to figure out how to work this thing. Okay? Okay. So let me get out of here, y'all. Somebody said, send me a plate.